Hello, and welcome to the Hive Mind podcast, where the collective wisdom of the travel industry helps you match travelers with the right destinations and the right hotels. I'm your host, Whitney Schindler, founder and CEO of The Hive, a platform designed to give travel advisors organized, actionable insights you can put to work right away. Each week, I sit down for focused, real-world conversations with travel advisors, hoteliers, and supplier partners who know these places inside and out. We break down how each hotel is best suited to a specific client profile, take quick deep dives into destinations, and share pro tips to help you make the most of the Hive. And here's the best part. You don't need to take notes while you listen. Go about your day, tune in, and know that every insight from these conversations is already captured and organized inside the Hive, so it's there when you actually need it. And if you aren't on the Hive yet, you can get resources from this and other episodes when you join our newsletter at thehive.travel/podcast. Today's episode is part of the Stay Guide, where we explore multiple hotels in a single destination to highlight their unique strengths, differences, and the clients they're best suited for. We're focusing on Anguilla, and while there are many properties here, we'll be diving into the following: Frangipani, Tranquility Beach, Zemi Beach House, Aurora Anguilla, Four Seasons Anguilla, Malihana, and Cap Juluca. The goal isn't to rank or compare, but to give you the clarity and the confidence to guide your clients with ease. Joining us to discuss their experiences staying at these properties and conducting site inspections is Emily Deutschman, founder of Puffin Nest Travel Co., and Caitlin Fogle, an advisor at ProTravel. Let's dive in. Emily and Caitlin, hello. Welcome to the podcast. How are you both? It's so good to have you.
Hello. Thank you, Whitney.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having us.
Okay, so today we have a lot of properties to dive into. We have 7 total properties in Anguilla. We're going to start with Frangipani. Emily, you did a site inspection here. Frangipani. I feel like no matter which way I say it, my brain is like, are you saying that right? We're going to go with Frangipani. Tell me, you did a site inspection. Tell me when you arrived, what felt like it jumped out at you, like first impressions, like, oh, wow, like whether it was something that was a little bit different than what you expected or something that you particularly loved, what kind of left that lasting impression on you from your first arrival point?
Yeah, it's a smaller property, which is really nice. I think when you are looking for a beach vacation right on the beach, like you could see the beach from the moment you walked on the property. So it's very beach focused on Meads Bay, which is kind of the main beach area in Anguilla. And yeah, they were doing also a lot of renovations when I was there. So I also saw a lot of construction going on. But
okay. Hopefully that's done now, or
yes,
that we know about it, so it wouldn't impact a client's stay. Tell me which client, when you were there, which client profile could you really envision loving this property, or which client profile do you feel like you're proposing it to most often?
Yeah, I think this is great for a client who wants to be in Meads Bay, but the other properties that we'll talk about later in the same area are pricing too high. Maybe they want more of that like 4-star kind of, on the beach, barefoot, super chill vibe. And they want to be in Anguilla, but at that slightly lower price point.
So I've never been to Anguilla. When you say Meads Bay, why is this the area that everyone wants to be in? Is it because of the beach specifically, or is it just like where a lot of restaurants are? Like, what's the draw to that particular part of the island?
Yeah, it's kind of where all the main hotel, like the Four Seasons is on there. The Malihana, which I'm not going to pronounce that right. The whole thing, yes, is there. And there's a lot of like beach clubs and restaurants right on the beach, and it's kind of the spot to walk around and on the beach and kind of have everything right there.
So if you're looking for an experience where like you leave property and you go to different restaurants, or there's just like kind of a vibe or a little bit of an energetic, like in a good way, like an energetic vibe on the island, this is where you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're not at the Four Seasons budget, or we're not looking for Four Seasons vibes. So maybe this is where we consider more of this 4-star kind of barefoot luxury
Yeah,
option.
yeah.
Okay,
Like I quoted this hotel for. I have diver clients who they don't
Mhm.
spend a ton of time at the hotel because they just want access to the beach and they want to get on a boat and dive.
Okay,
And they're not like super high luxury like that. This would be a great hotel for somebody like that.
perfect.
Mhm.
Perfect. Who would you not send there? And I guess I'm thinking less about investment reasons and more about like very specific client profiles. Like, does it feel
Mhm.
appropriate for families with small children? Does it feel appropriate for older clientele versus younger clientele? Like, when we think about just different client profiles and not about nightly rates, who would you
Yeah.
maybe not send here?
I one of the things that they were working on and constructing was a villa. So maybe multi-gen once that's open could work. Otherwise, I would see this more for like adults only or older children. Like it was a smaller pool, so families who like, a big pool and a big pool scene, I wouldn't put there either. It's more like it's definitely the focus is the beach and being in that area. So
Does it have a like amenities on site like bars, restaurants, spa, anything like that? Like if you went with a group
yeah.
of friends, like a group of girlfriends, for example, like is there like a place to hang out, or is it we're all here together, but we need to go like find a different restaurant to hang out for dinner?
There is one restaurant on property and it's actually well known on that beach. It was on a list of restaurants, like kind of more of that sandy beach shack
Yeah.
restaurant vibe.
Yeah.
So we actually ate lunch there before our site visit. And yeah, so there's like one restaurant and the bar is kind of in that restaurant area. The spa is not notable. Even I don't even think there is one now. I don't know, but that you
Okay.
don't go there for a spa. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Moving on to the next, which is also a very unique option that you saw, Tranquility Beach
Mhm.
is a serviced condo complex. So tell me about this.
Yeah. So I work with a lot of families with young kids, and a lot of times these families like to Airbnb. That's kind of what they're looking for, like the kitchen and the apartment. So I always like to look for, well, what kind of option could I offer clients that's not an Airbnb?
Uh-huh. And it's
So this,
commissionable.
and it's commissionable. Yes, very important as well.
I think
And so,
that's like it's
yeah,
the Airbnb. I'm always like, are you looking for Airbnb because you want a lower price point, or are you looking for Airbnb because you truly want a kitchen? I think that's like an important distinction. It's like, okay, if you
yeah,
truly want a kitchen, then I think you're really smart to like find a place that will work with travel advisors.
yes. And they have 1, 2, and 3 bedroom with like a hot tub, on um,
On the terrace or on the
on the terrace, yeah.
yeah.
And then it's right on the beach. And they're brand new. Only I don't know. None of them. I mean, they all looked within like 5 years old. So super brand new, very family friendly. Some of them had rooftop. If they were on the third floor, they had a rooftop terrace, so you got beautiful views. And this
Cool.
was also on Needs Bay, so it's actually
Okay.
really close to the Frangipani. So it's right in that same area.
All in the same area. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess for anyone looking for just more space and that kind of condo complex
Hmm.
apartment style, does it
Hmm.
have any amenities like a swimming pool or a restaurant, or is it fully just like you're checking into an apartment, you can go buy groceries, you're on your own for dinners?
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
They do. I mean, it is a service department, so there is a concierge staff there to help you with things. But there's no restaurant, there's no swimming pool. It's just the beach and your own little
If
apartment.
you're
So
staying there and you want to go to the beach, are there like serviced beach clubs in Anguilla that like that's how you can plan to spend your day?
yes, there are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zemi Beach House. So this is one that
Yeah.
I know about a little bit only because I was recently including it on a proposal. So tell me when you arrived at Zemi Beach House, what
Mhm.
really jumped out at you? Like what left a lasting impression?
I think for me and Zemi, um, first of all, it's in a very much more remote part of the island. So you have to be willing to drive to get there. It's on the north,
Okay.
like the north side. But I mean, when you enter, it's very beautiful. The grounds are stunning. And this is a very vast, expansive beach. Like you could walk, if you're a beach walker, you could just walk forever on this beach. I went with my 6-year-old and he just loved this beach. So it was great for that. And their spa, I think, is one of the best on the island.
Okay. Love to hear
Yeah.
that. Because it's further away, does that mean that you're either having a rental car or you're like maybe not going into the Meads Bay area where there's a lot of restaurants and kind of more of a scene? Are you just kind of, does it have the vibe that most people just kind of check in and stay and they're not really looking to explore much, or they have a car? Like what's the guest experience like?
Yeah, we had a car. I would recommend having a car. They do drive on the, British side of the road there. So you do have to be okay with that. But the island is very easy to explore. It's all like small roads throughout the entire island. And Zemi Beach has, 3 restaurants on property, a bar. The pool is excellent. It's a great pool to kind of hang out in. And they even do like events there as part of the hotel. Like they had a special fire, like, I don't know, show one night.
Okay. So with 3 restaurants on property, this is starting to feel more like a resort. Multiple restaurants, a bar, a spa. So this could be somewhere that someone just goes for the entire duration of their trip and stay if they really wanted to.
Yeah. And they do have a kids club on property, although it is very small. So my son didn't want to spend a lot of time there. I just forced him to go when I had my spa appointment. But it's not really a spot that caters to small kids, but it can accommodate small kids.
Yeah. Tell me, like, when you're there and you're kind of experiencing the property, which, because you stayed there. So as you mentioned, like your son went to the kids club for a bit. What client profiles do you feel like, oh, this is perfect for this type of client?
Yeah. So Zemi, we stayed in a standard, it's a Hilton property. So some of the hotel rooms feel very kind of, standard Hilton type hotel room.
Yep.
We had a beautiful balcony, but the hotel room itself, it had a beautiful bathtub, if you like bathtubs, and a huge shower, but it wasn't the most stunning room I've ever been in. Now they do have multi-bedroom suites that are gorgeous. They have like 3-bedroom penthouse suites and things like that if you're in an upgraded room category. But in that sense, the standard hotel room does feel very,
doesn't quite give the sense of place or the character that you might find at other hotels.
Yeah.
So families, maybe not families who are really looking to use the kids club a lot if it feels small, but which client profiles, like would you send honeymooners there? Would you send groups of friends there? I would would work best.
Yeah, honeymooners, groups of friends, multi-gen, they have great like configurations of, like 2-bedroom units that you can attach a 3rd hotel room. So like they have a lot of different configurations for multi-gen groups that could work. I think, it'd be great for maybe older kids and teenagers, adults. I had my young son there, but it was a last minute trip and it was the only place that had availability. So that's why I booked us there. But it worked and he loved the beach and the pool. So if you don't care about like kid amenities and your kids just want to play in the beach and pool, it's great for that too.
Sure. Is there anyone you would not send there?
I think people who don't want to drive. I really do think you want a car that can get you around. And if you like being in the hubbub and in the scene and in the middle of the action, you don't want to be there either.
Okay. Okay. Caitlin, I'm pulling you in.
Hey,
there we go.
So those 3 properties, only Emily saw or stayed, but now we're pulling in Caitlin because now we're going to talk about Aurora. And Caitlin, you stayed. And this is a property that I just booked. It's just coincidence that I just this is very top of mind. But it's giant, like gigantic. I was so shocked to pull up because I think there was something that I was I asked a question to the reservations team as I was working through this new booking. And they were like, well, in this complex, we don't do that. But in this one over here, we do. And I was like, wait, what? And so I pulled up like a property map and I was like, whoa. So tell me about your first impression being there in person. Because my first impression by looking at the property map was like, there's a golf course in the middle of this hotel.
Yes, I would say I didn't understand the property until I arrived. You can see on their website they have like a rendezvous area and they have like a Merry Wing area.
Yes.
a-
Yeah.
and so they're about 1.1 miles apart from the different areas.
Okay.
And there are golf
Okay.
carts that would take you around. We stayed in the rendezvous area. It was definitely a bit more quiet. It's not adult only, but it was very like quiet. The Merry Wing area
Okay.
has the water park and the kids club and all the kids things. So for a family,
Okay.
I would stay over there, and that's also closer to the golf course. Um,
Okay.
but yes, the resort is on 300 acres. One morning, my husband and I we got on bikes and like really went around the property on bikes, and that was
Mhm.
a lot of fun and worked with not having to walk everywhere because it was hot.
So what was kind of the lasting impression that after your stay that you kind of like come home and you still remember and you share with clients when you're talking to them about this hotel?
Yeah, one thing that I really loved about the resort was on Friday nights they do a beach lobster barbecue. So it's an all-you-can-eat buffet that had unlimited lobster, and it was outstanding. It was all the food at Aurora was outstanding. Very good food. Everything is typically a la carte. There's no all-inclusive package. The only thing that was the all-inclusive part was the one dinner. That was the buffet. So
Okay.
that was super fun. It had live music right on the beach, and um,
Well,
that was my favorite.
amazing. So with the golf course situation, if you're not golfing, do you feel like you shouldn't be there?
Not at all. No, we didn't
Okay.
golf. We don't golf. When you're in the rendezvous area of the hotel, or the resort, you don't see the golf course at all. The golf course is towards the Merry Wing area of where the family friendly stuff is. Um, and no, golf. I know it's a big resort for golfers, but I didn't feel out of place by any means.
Okay. So I was recently quoting and availability was so slim that we really couldn't choose Rendezvous versus Mary Wing. We just had to take what worked. But ideally, we would be working on this with a client when we do potentially have that option. So how would you guide clients, or maybe you wouldn't? Would you, as the advisor, if everything was open and available, say, well, like you're a family, so I'm going to quote these rooms over here versus you're not a family, I'm going to quote you over here?
I, w-
Or
I
is there any reason to involve the client in this conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say the Merry Wing area is family centric. It definitely
Okay.
has the water park, the lazy river, it has the pickleball courts. I think like the drinks we got over there at the Merry Wing lobby may have been in plastic. So like and there were kids in that area. The other area on the
Yeah.
rendezvous side, I rarely saw a kid. They did have like an ice cream shop in the main lobby, so maybe you would see a kid over there, but I would definitely put a family in the Merry Wing area.
And if a couple was traveling with no kids, would you definitely just automatically quote Rendezvous?
Correct.
And if a couple was traveling and Rendezvous was sold out, would you tell them to look elsewhere or would you consider putting them at Merriwing?
If they don't mind being around kids, then I would
I think it would
consider.
be a conversation to have, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If they like think, kids make them smile, then sure, you can stay in the Merry Wing area. But if you are like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to escape kids, then I would not put you in the Merry Wing area.
That's Such a great way to just be like, do kids make you smile? Because we all have like a visceral reaction to kids, and it's either smiling or it's not. And most people know which one is their reaction. I like that question, Caitlin. I might take that. Do kids make you smile?
I would say when you're on the rendezvous side, you can see St. Martin. It's only a
Okay.
20-minute ferry to get from Anguilla from the public ferry to St. Martin. So where I stayed on the rendezvous side, you have a great view of St. Martin.
Cool. So talk to me about location specifically. Where is this in relation to the hotels that Emily was sharing with us in Meads Bay? Is this in a similar area or totally
Just
different?
on the other side, I mean, I think it was maybe like a 5-minute cab ride. So, I mean, the
Okay.
island is longer and kind of skinnier. So Meads Bay is on like the west side, and the Rendezvous Bay where Aurora is just on the opposite side. So not far at all. We took a cab, and I think it was like a 5-minute cab ride. It was maybe 2 miles, if that.
Okay. So different area, but the distances are not far.
Correct.
So because Aurora is so big, like how many dining outlets do they have, for
They had
example?
6 restaurants, and
Okay.
breakfast was at the chef's table, which was at the Rendezvous right there, like at the lobby, and it was divine, excellent. You had the option to do the a la carte, or you could pay for an unlimited breakfast. It may have been like
Okay.
$120 per person for the full buffet, and it included champagne and Bloody Marys.
Okay. So when you're talking about these two different areas of the resort, the Merry Wing and the Rendezvous, are guests going back and forth freely? Or is it like if you're staying at Rendezvous, you kind of just stay over there?
Guests can go back and forth freely. It's not
Okay.
walkable. I mean, it's 1.1 miles, so I wouldn't I
So it's
mean,
golf carts or
it's
bikes?
definitely golf carts or bikes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. But it's not like an all-inclusive in Mexico where it's like this is the section of the resort that you booked. You're not allowed to go over here. It just happens to be two buildings with a
Correct.
golf course in the middle and everybody's going back and
Right. You
forth.
can definitely go back and forth because
Okay.
I wanted to go see the water park and see the kids club and see all of that, even though I wasn't traveling with my kids. So it was very
Yeah,
easy.
okay. Okay, so with 6 restaurants, I imagine most clients just check in and hang for the duration of their trip. This doesn't sound like a place that people are looking to, like, leave property very often.
I wouldn't think so. We stayed on property the whole time. It was only 2 nights, so it was shorter. But when I was looking for like excursions or what we were going to do on our time in Anguilla, um, I feel like it was definitely a laid back, island, and kind of very peaceful, tranquil, beautiful waters. Not a lot of nightlife to my knowledge. Um,
Okay,
it was relaxing.
amazing. Okay. How do they have a spa?
They do. I didn't see it, but they do have a
Okay,
spa, yes, and they have like
okay,
a, amphitheater. I think they sometimes have like outdoor children's movies. I think they have rock climbing as well.
well,
Those things I didn't lay my eyes on. I did see the tennis
okay,
courts, and they had a lot of them,
okay.
and that was really nice.
So you mentioned the water park and the kids club and everything. Do you feel like you could send families with any ages of kids, like toddlers all the way up to teenagers, or do you feel like there's a target age that this property would be best for?
I do think you could send any age kids. There are like 2 big water slides, um, that were bigger. So, maybe 10,
Mhm.
12-year-olds, 14-year-olds would enjoy that. And the lazy river, I feel like kids always like. There was a 0 entry area to the water park for like the younger kids and a little splash pad. So I do feel
Game
like the
changer,
resort
0 entry.
definitely captures like the multi-generational family trip because it does cater to a lot of different ages.
Is there any client profile you would not send here?
I would say if you're not maybe in good health or you can't walk much, because it is spread out, even though you can take a golf cart like from the lobby to the rooms on the rendezvous side, it is a bit of a walk. So if you have any
Okay.
physical limitations, I would be apprehensive to book you here.
Okay. Does it feel good for groups of friends, 40th birthday celebrations, multiple couples traveling together? All these kind of client groups feel like a good fit?
Yes, and they have like villas and estate homes, suites. They have
Okay.
regular rooms, so lots of different accommodations. There's only
Cool.
178 rooms, so it is a smaller resort. And I can understand why that it gets booked up.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. One of the best parts of this industry is that we don't have to figure it all out alone. The Hive is built on that idea. It's our expertise vault, a living library where hotel details, destination insights, and advisor experiences are captured and shared. As an emerging advisor, that means you get access to the wisdom of people who've been there before, helping you build confidence and credibility faster. And as you grow, you'll add to your own insights too, strengthening the community for the next advisor. Curious? Take a peek at thehive.travel. Which hotel do we have next? Four Seasons, Anguilla. So what I was going to ask you about Aurora is about the location and the beach. So before we shift, just to make sure I don't forget, Emily was talking about how Zemi Beach's location really provides like that super long walkable beach. What's the beach like at Aurora? Because it's a different beach, right?
Right. So it's on a bay. It's Rendezvous Bay
Okay.
and it's walkable. We did one night walk to like a local restaurant off property. Um,
Okay.
and there may have been a couple other resorts right there. I'd have to look at like a Google map and scroll in. But it was a wide beach and calm water. There were other things you could walk to.
Like, I guess just in general to understand about the island, if you have someone who is a true beach lover and they want the widest beach, the best water, they want to swim, like they're like that's literally why they're traveling. Do all of these beaches around Anguilla feel comparable, or is there like, no, if this is what you're looking for, you should definitely go to this beach?
Uh, well, it kind of depends on whether you're on the Atlantic side or the Caribbean side too. As far as like currents, like how much do you want to swim in the water? Like Zemi is on the Atlantic side, so most of the time we were there was red flag, so we couldn't get in the water. Where some of
Okay.
the other hotels are in more protected bays, so it's easier to get into the water and swim. Um,
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I'm just looking at a map again. Yeah. Okay. So Zemi is like really beautiful to like walk along the
mhm.
beach, but not great if you want to
Yeah.
get in,
Yeah, and
potentially.
it's not very developed. So like there's, you know, like we walked for a really long time and you don't see a lot of, I mean, there's not much there. It's just really kind of
Okay.
unspoiled. There's more development going up around there, but it's definitely, much more remote than the others.
Whereas
Mhm.
Aurora Anguilla is on the entire, like, complete opposite side of the island. So from north to south, but from Atlantic to Caribbean, like complete opposite side, and it's in a bay.
Correct.
So maybe you don't have, now I'm just assuming, so correct me if I'm wrong, Caitlin, maybe you don't have like the super long walkability, but I imagine that the water is a little bit nicer to swim potentially.
Yeah, we got in the water at Rendezvous. Yes.
Okay.
And enjoyed like floating. It wasn't very rough water by any means. Um,
Okay.
but it was a wide beach and it was definitely walkable. I
Okay.
mean, we walked when we were at Meads Bay from Malihana to Four Seasons. They're like a mile apart, and we walked the beach to
Okay.
get there. It was super easy, but we didn't get in the water at Meads Bay because we did have red flags when we were there as well.
Okay, yeah, because I see Needs Bay is also on the Atlantic side. Um, so I mean, it feels like if people really want to get into the water, like this is what I think about in Cabo as well. Like it's not really swimmable. And even if you go to the swimmable area, it may not be possible. Like this feels like something to mention to clients.
Mhm.
If you guys both experienced red flags while you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went, so there's actually a beach club. I could see the Aurora. There is an independent beach club where we went one day just to hang out so we could go swim in the water. So,
That's
there's areas to do that if you want to get off property. Kind of depends on how adventurous you are and how much you want to go out and explore. So,
yeah, it kind of depends if like you need a beach day in the total duration of your trip, or if you're like, no, I need to be on the beach in the water every single day. That might actually rule out a couple specific locations just to help increase your odds getting in the
mhm.
water. Okay, perfect. That's really helpful to understand. So let's shift to Four Seasons in Anguilla. So Emily, you did a site, both of you, Emily and Caitlin, you both did a site inspection.
Mhm.
So Emily,
Mhm.
tell me your first impressions from Four Seasons in Anguilla. What really has kind of stuck with you, and what do you come home still talking to clients about when we think about this
Yeah.
property?
Um, it is just a stunning property. I mean, it's the Four Seasons brand through and through, so you know what you're getting with Four Seasons. But just like this beautiful open lobby area, the bar, and now I can't remember the name of it, but their kind of main bar there is like the place on the island to go see the sunset. So it's
Okay,
whether or not you stay at the hotel, you want your clients to go do a sunset cocktail there at some point.
cool.
And it's also a very huge property. Like one of their beaches is on Meads Bay, and then they have another beach on kind of the other little
Oh,
side there. So,
how does that
and that,
work? Do they take
well,
you
so
over there?
no, it's more their residences that are on the other beach,
Got it.
and then like the main beach is on the Meads Bay side.
Okay.
So. Mhm.
But then guests could go over to the other beach or no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can. You just have
Okay.
to it's kind of like a cliff, like walk down area. But you can
Okay.
get down there. Mhm.
Caitlin, what has really stuck with you in terms of like not only first impressions, but also lasting impressions from Four Seasons?
What I thought was really interesting when I did my site tour was all the rooms have like a plunge pool on the balcony or like the sun deck, except their entry level rooms. So out of 131 rooms that they have, almost all of them have that plunge pool on the deck. And
Mm-hmm.
that was
Mm-hmm.
really nice. The only one that doesn't is the resort view room, which is just your entry level room. I really liked that. I did go to the bar that Emily was talking about and had a cocktail. It was very pretty. Um, I also liked that they have entertainment 5 nights a week with music, and the only nights that they don't typically is Sunday and Monday. So I
Mm-hmm.
always love music, and so I feel like the vibe there's like sophisticated music, relaxing. I enjoyed that.
Is this when you say entertainment, is this like all eyes on me entertainment, everyone be quiet, we're watching the entertainment, or is this like nice musicians in the background while you're chatting with your travel
Nice
people?
music in the background while you're chatting
Okay.
with people.
Okay. Okay. But
Mhm.
live, which is cool.
Correct.
Awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Who?
there's also
Yeah.
different
Sorry.
areas. No, there's also different areas. So they have an adults only pool area, which is kind of by that sunset bar. Then they have more of like the family pool area as well. Yeah, it's a pretty big spread out property, and you can kind of
Mhm.
find your spot to be too.
From a family perspective, is this for all ages of children in terms of our zero entry kids club? You know, like, do any of these hotels have like programming for kids? Like, I guess there's like a full, in my mind, there's like a full kids club spectrum. There's like
Mhm.
a room with toys. And then there's like full, like, you leave your kids there, you don't see them until after dinner because they don't want to leave. There's like fun things going on.
The Four Seasons Kids Club has a whole program. They even do like evening programs for the kids that you can drop the kids off and you can have an adult dinner.
Okay.
They took like my son was doing site inspections with me, and they like whisked him away into the kids club, and I didn't see him for my 2 hours of my site inspection. He had a great time. So
Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
like a rock
I
climbing
mean,
wall for kids in the kids club. Their gym is like half outdoor, which was really nice. Great gym equipment.
Cool. What about just like couples? Like, is there anyone that you wouldn't send here? Like, is it a little too quiet? Is it not quiet enough? Is it really big and spread out like the other properties? Like, so if we're considering, I do always have one client who's like, I don't want to walk 3 miles to my room. Like, there's always this kind of these little comments that clients can make. Like, who would you not send to the Four Seasons?
it's not as big as Aurora, but it is definitely a bigger hotel than the other ones, or a resort property than the other ones that we've talked about. So
What about when it comes to like the overall aesthetic and having a sense of place? Like, does it feel like a Four Seasons, or does it feel like that you're in Anguilla versus a Four Seasons in, any other destination like Mexico or somewhere?
good question. I mean, it does have that Caribbean vibe still. Like you because it's very much outdoor, like outdoor forward. You see the space, you see the sea, you see the pools. So in that sense, you have that sense of place, I guess.
I'm getting the sense that because we have Maliana next to discuss, and then we have Cap Juluca, which I feel like is a little bit different, but that what I'm gathering is that Aurora, Four Seasons, and probably Malihana are all really great properties. So I'm going to give you, I'm giving you a heads up on the pop quiz I'm going to give you in a second. Because there's got to be some way to differentiate these, right? Like they can all be great, but a client at the end of the day has to choose, right? So if we imagine availability is wide open, we either take price off the table or we just say that they're all pricing similarly so that it's not a decision point. In about 5 minutes after we get through Malihana, I'm going to come back around and make you make some hard decisions.
Sounds good.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Don't say that I didn't warn you then. Why waste hours redoing similar research you did the last time you planned this destination? The Hive captures hotel details, destination insights, and advisor notes all in one place, so you can save time and move faster. Find out more at thehive.travel. Okay, so let's move on to Malihana. Emily, you did a site inspection. Caitlin, you stayed. So let's start with site inspection first. Emily, what stuck with you as kind of like a lasting impression from your visit to Malihana?
Yeah, so I actually couldn't do a formal site inspection. The schedules didn't line up. So I went there and had lunch and kind of checked out the common spaces and just to kind of get a vibe for the hotel. So I didn't actually get to peek in a room. But it's very fun and funky and colorful, and it has really cool design aesthetic. It is perched up on the cliff, so it's not beachfront. You have to walk downstairs to get to the beach.
Okay. Is it their beach? Like, is it serviced and like it's a good beach setup? And are there like drinks and sunbeds and umbrellas and everything?
Yeah, Caitlin, you could probably speak to that a little bit better because I didn't walk down there. But
there's a little like cove area that you could get in and swim. If you walked a little bit farther down Meads Bay, they have Leon's, which is one of the restaurants at Malihana that is beachfront and does have chairs and is serviced there, but it's a little bit of a walk from the actual main resort.
Okay.
But so yes, they do have service and beach chairs and all of that. It's just in front of Leon's, one of their restaurants. It's laid back vibe.
Interesting.
At Leon's.
So when you're up, like if you say that you're kind of up on the cliff, is the draw kind of that you just have really beautiful views and the beach isn't necessarily the focus?
Yeah, and
a beautiful pool.
I think that you up on the cliff, you have like an infinity pool, so it's very pretty. And you can see a lot of boats going by. Yeah.
Is this as big of a property as like Aurora and Four Seasons that we were talking about, how they were so big and spread out?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they have some
Okay.
different rooming options there, like some
Mhm.
suites and some villas that are separate from the main resort, but it's definitely a smaller boutique vibe resort.
Okay. I think that's helpful to kind of, so that 5-star service is there. Or do you feel that like between Aurora and Four Seasons and Malihana, like do you feel like the service feels comparable between the three in terms of just being proactive and having that luxury touch and kind of always being one step ahead of the guest? Or if you have a client who like at the end of the day, they're looking for really great service. And if they come home talking about anything, they're going to talk about the service being what they wanted or not. Do you feel like these are all three comparable, or do you feel like one kind of stands out among these three when it comes to service?
I think all three have great service.
Okay.
I couldn't differentiate in the service. I think they were all 5-star, great service.
Okay. That's great.
Mhm.
What who do you feel like is the best, or like the client profile that feels most aligned to this property versus the others? Who, when you were there, what type of client were you envisioning? Like, oh, this is perfect for them.
Malihana is definitely more from what I saw, like adults only. I don't think they have a whole lot to offer for kids. So I think like older couples, honeymooners, people who want to get away. I think kids are welcome here, but there's not a whole lot for kids to do.
Mhm.
Um,
Sure.
it was definitely more quiet.
Okay. Emily, what would you add just in terms of like the type of client you were envisioning while you were there?
Yeah, I think it would be great for like a girls' trip. I don't know. The design was just so fun and vibrant,
Mhm.
and lovely. People who really love that in a hotel
Mhm.
too, like a really
Yeah.
cool sense of place to want to go. Like it had a very fun, lively atmosphere. I think it would be great for like honeymoon or a girls' trip in particular. Mhm.
So since it's smaller, do you also like, I don't know what the average stay, let's just say it's 5 nights, like a Wednesday through Sunday, for example. Do you see most clients that they're going to stay on property and eat at the venues there, or as it has a smaller footprint, do you kind of like, how many restaurants do they have? And do you think the clients would go off property for dinner?
We definitely went off property. There's on
Okay.
Meads Bay, there's so many local places like
So many.
Blanchard's. We went and ate there one day for lunch. Um and I would recommend, I mean, staying at Malihana, I don't think you necessarily need a car because you can walk to other resorts and other places
Okay.
to eat.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, that's totally different and a huge advantage compared to like Zemi Beach, where you said is a little bit further away and you kind of need a car if you want to leave
Mhm.
and do things. Um, okay. So the final hotel in our list is Capjaluca. Emily, you did a site inspection at Capjaluca. So do
I
you
did.
feel that this falls in a similar category with Aurora, Four Seasons, and Malihana, or do you feel like it's separated a little bit for any reason?
I do feel like it's a step up. I would definitely consider this ultra luxe property for sure. It's in a very secluded bay, so it's on the opposite side of this, skinny part of the island from Meads Bay. And just the setup, it's the property for people who want quiet, who want privacy, who want very high service. They're all like smaller buildings with anywhere from 2 to 4 rooms or suites per building. And
Okay.
you have like your beach chairs in front of your building that is served by your butler. Like it's very,
Okay.
very exclusive,
Okay.
and very quiet and beautiful. It's a beautiful beach. The spa there looks beautiful. Yeah. So
With the exclusivity that the location and the like the way that the buildings are set up and whatnot, is there enough on property to kind of keep you there for the full vacation? I guess, do you envision that people are leaving very often to dine off site?
I think it depends on the client for sure, but I mean, there's definitely, there's I think 2 restaurants on property. I could be wrong about that. But for me, if I was to stay at Camp Toluca, it's because I wanted to go and relax and, spend a lot of time on the beach, and just decompress. Like that
Mhm.
would be my
Okay.
reason for going there. Yeah.
Our families there?
There are families there. They do have a very small kids club upon request. So,
Okay.
but I would say there's not a lot of activity going on like at the Four Seasons or at Aurora that has a lot of, buzz going on for young kids.
Okay. I have not done this on any previous conversations, but I would like to pull more out of your brains than you are offering up for free.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to describe a client. I'm going to pretend I'm a client. I'm going to come to
Okay.
you and say, this is who I am and this is who I'm looking for. And this is going to be rapid fire speed round. I want each of you to give me an answer of where you would, like what immediately comes to mind of what you would propose to them. But that's all you can say. No, you just the name of the hotel. No, like 5-minute spiel and sales pitch, just the name of the hotel. Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Okay. Now I have to think of the things. Okay. I'm a family with small children, so both under 5. The beach is my top priority. I plan to be on the beach every single day. Secondary priority is the spa. We will get multiple treatments throughout our stay. Caitlin, what immediately comes to mind?
I would do Mary Wing at Aurora.
Very specific. Emily?
Four Seasons, but only because I didn't see Aurora. So
Okay.
yeah.
And
but
it's
I
okay
would
if your
say Four
answers are the same. I'm not
Okay.
putting you in the spot that you have to say something different. But Emily, you're going to be first next time. Okay.
All right.
I am a group of girlfriends. There's 5 of us. We want to share rooms. We are celebrating a 40th birthday. We want a scene, a vibe, drinks. We want a great view. We'll never go to the beach. We really just need a swimming pool, good drinks, good food.
Mhm.
Where are you sending us?
Malihana. Yeah.
Caitlin?
Well, I can't say.
I would do the Four Seasons.
Tell me why. Ooh, now you have to tell me why. If I ask.
Well, the adult only pool at the Four Seasons was nice. And when you say I just think like that Sunset Bar. I think Malihana works too, but I thought the pool at the Four Seasons was fantastic. A little bit bigger.
Amazing. Okay, now I'm a couple. I'm older, in my 50s or 60s. Kids are older. Maybe they're away, maybe they're not, but I'm not escaping small children at home is the point that I'm trying to describe. We go on a trip every single year. The room is the most important for us. We will spend a lot of time in the room. We're not necessarily going to spend a lot of time on the beach or at the swimming pool. So we want great views. We want space. We want the room to be beautiful and to feel like comfortable and visually aesthetically pleasing to be in. The second priority would be great food. Where would you send us?
Are you in good shape? Physical?
Yes, very physically fit.
Are you liking more bold colors or are you more like earth tones and
Good question. I like a sense of place. I want to know where I'm at based on what I'm looking at.
I would do Malihana. You're going to have some great sunsets there. You have big, spacious rooms. I think they're around like 800 square feet. You have great decks. And as long as you can climb up and down stairs, if you want to get to the beach and walk around Meads Bay, then you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Or maybe Cap Juluca if they want like the view is of the beach and the sea and more peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I really just need a comfortable hotel that has good service, but I really like going out and exploring local restaurants. I like to walk. I like to drive around the island and check things out. I really love more of like an independent approach to my trip. I will not be cooking any food. What else? I don't know. Maybe I have kids that are teenagers. Where would you send me?
I guess I would do probably Malihana. Um, I think Malihana is an independent hotel now. I'd have to look that up, but um, that's what I would say.
Yeah. I would say Zemi, if you're gonna have a car and want to get around, Zemi definitely. Or if you have a little bit of a lower budget, I think Frangipani could also work for that client too.
Who have I not described? Parents with tiny. No, I think I already said parents with tiny children.
Yeah.
Isn't that the first thing I said?
I think, the Zemi, their spa is amazing. Like people do make appointments from everywhere on the island to come use that spa.
So that's fascinating.
It's Bali, so you look like you stepped into Bali when you walk into their spa. It is gorgeous.
That's really interesting because I think what I didn't describe or what I didn't ask about was like someone who like spa is their top priority. But so like Zemi could be the answer if spa is their top priority, but then you could lose them if it's like, well, the rooms don't really have a great sense of place. It's on the other side of the island. Generally, you want to have a rental car when you go over there. So then you could actually have them stay somewhere else that feels like a better fit hotel wise, but take them to Zemi for like an all out spa day.
Spa day.
And then Four Seasons for sunset drinks. Amazing. I think that worked.
Yeah.
I feel like I pulled some more out of you.
You did it.
One thing that
Caitlin, what
surprised me about Anguilla was when we were leaving and we went to the airport, we had to pay a $56 departure tax. And I was confused. You don't have an option. You have to pay it. So that was something that like I put in my notes to tell clients. I don't know if you're taking...
If you don't pay it, do you just check back into the Four Seasons?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was bizarre. It was very bizarre. And their airport is very small. And they also like, I had to fit all of my cosmetics into one, it was a one quart size Ziploc bag. And
it's too small.
It was too small. Exactly. And my husband's like, you're gonna have to throw some of this out. And I was like, absolutely not. This is my, face
this
care.
Is what they make you do. Like, this is what they make you do if you fly through London or Paris. This feels like a British thing.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that they also drive on the British side of the road.
Yeah. I flew into St. Martin and took a semi-private boat over, and I didn't have to do that in the same. I mean, I still had to pay that departure tax to take the boat
you didn't
back
have to do
to
the
St.
court
Martin,
size
but I
cosmetic
didn't have
thing.
to do the court size. Yeah.
And also when I met other people there, they told me to get a temporary driver's license there. You do have to pay a $67 fee for a temporary driver's license.
Why do you want a temporary driver's license?
Well, to drive in the country.
It's just required.
You couldn't use like your own international driver's license like you could in other countries?
I don't believe so.
No, I worked with a smaller independent car rental, and it was built into her pricing, but the government requires you to get a license, and you have to get that for a rental car, as well as we rented a moke for a day. We had to have it for that too.
So I guess it's just a formality. Like you have to provide your driver's license from home, and then it's $67 and you get it. So it's not like a big deal necessarily. It's just like an extra fee and an extra step paperwork wise to get what you need. Fun. Great. Yeah. Fabulous. This was super helpful and super awesome to really dive into all the different hotel options in Anguilla. Were there any properties that you know about and you propose to clients that we didn't talk about at all today? Or does this kind of cover mostly of what you're recommending to clients?
It covers what I'm recommending. I know there's a Relais and Chateau property on the islands, but I've never quoted it and I didn't see it either.
Okay.
But that's
I can see
there's
it on the
one
map
of
here.
those there too. Yeah.
Quintessence.
Yeah.
I can see it on the map next to Malihana. Fabulous. Thank you both so much. I really appreciate your time and your willingness to share all of your notes and expertise from Anguilla.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Hive Mind podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. And if you know a friend or colleague who would enjoy this, please share it with them. If you would like insights from this episode landing in your inbox each week, join our newsletter at thehive.travel/podcast. And remember, if you'd like to contribute to a future episode, whether it's sharing your destination expertise or your experience touring hotels, just head to thehive.travel/podcast to learn more and express your interest. We'd love to have you join the conversation. Until next time.